first one is, how do you propose to turn around the finances and morale of the school district? And the second is, what is your opinion about the teacher's salary schedule and how we compete in Northern California? So on that compound question, I'll have Andrew go first. And I can repeat them if I need to. I know that's a lot.
It would be naive to think that morale is not tied to salary. That famous adage, you get what you pay for. And if you're not getting paid very much, then you must not be thought of very well. Morale can be improved by increasing salaries, but we obviously can't increase salaries unless we shift funds or we come up with new revenue. And one of the ways to come up with new revenue is a parcel tax. And I know that's not the words that everybody wants to hear in these tough economic times, but it's the reality. Teachers know, most people know, that the teachers in San Leandro earn some of the lowest salaries in all of Alameda County. And we need to improve those salaries, not just for morale, but because what we become is a place where teachers come to cut their teeth before they go and find a permanent residence and teach for good. We want experienced teachers here. We want experienced lawyers and doctors and accountants and plumbers, and we want experienced teachers in this community. Experience matters. Having young teachers is important also, new perspectives, but we need our experienced teachers, and we need better finances to do that. I can't tell you specifically, because I'm not the candidate and I haven't looked at the budget, as to where those funds are going to come from. But bringing up the morale of the teachers is going to come from improving those salaries, and that's going to come from working better with the community so we can pass that parcel tax, and to have that kind of bond and transparency so that when we sit down with them, we don't need to have 2 and 3 lawyers at a time to discuss how much money the district has, so we can sit at an arm's length. San Lorenzo does it, we ought to be able to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hermy?
Yes.
Would you like to tackle that?
Thank you. And I agree with Morgan, who is not here today. He's Morgan's plan here. And we have to preserve valuable programs such as arts, music, and vocational courses. And then when we do that, I agree we have to have a parcel tax so that this budgeted amount intended for these valuable programs can be free up, and the money can go to the improvement and raising salaries of our teachers and support staff. And it is very important that the salaries are one of the big factor that we can raise the morale of our educators. And with low salary, we can lose great teachers, we cannot retain them, and we cannot hire quality educators without these good salaries. And that's that's one of my plan. If I been elected to be the school board, my plan is to have a parcel tax to support this improvement of salaries for teachers and support staff, and at the same time will raise their morale. And when the morale of the teachers are up, education are up also. That's positively sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Dawn?
Could you repeat the questions again?
Sure. How do you propose to turn around the finances and morale of the school district? And what is your opinion about the teacher salary schedule and how we compete in Northern California?
Well, the teachers should certainly be paid appropriate with any other district. I don't believe that there should be any disparities between the different districts. But again, the question of how to raise the funds for the expenditures needed to pay the teachers properly, I believe goes back to a fundamental question which I've addressed. There are many people that I've talked to who say there's no way they're going to send their children to public schools, both in this district and many other districts, because they believe that their children are going to get a directly inferior education because of, again, I refer to the political and educational beliefs, elites, and their political philosophy of imposing this indoctrination, which I refer to, social engineering, over the true education of their children. So they say they escaped to homeschooling. So you're going to have a number of people, you're going to have an increasing difficulty of passing any parcel tax as long as the political and educational elites hold to this philosophy that engineering, social engineering is more important. So they have, and if we're going to satisfy the teachers and get them a greater salary, we're going to have to pass that parcel tax, or perhaps others. But in order to do that, you have to satisfy the community as a whole that the schools are not antagonistic to the education of their children. And you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to give up something on your part, the educational elites, in order to come back and make a good faith gesture that people can say, hey, they aren't going to war against my children. They're going to actually make an honest effort to give them a true education. And so that's why I say the Teachers Association itself has to give up on doing political endorsements like they've done against Proposition 8 and giving over $1 million. Imagine that, $1.25 million of their teachers' dollars to pass a ballot initiative, or to stop a ballot initiative to protect marriage. Why would they do that? Why would they spend all that money unless they had a purpose for, again, the social engineering? So if the teachers' union will do this, then I say that you can pass a parcel tax. Otherwise, you're going to have increasing funding difficulties which will not be solved because the public will increasingly say no.
You're out of time. Thank you. Okay, Rick. Finances and teacher salaries.
And morale.
And morale.
All right. Look, I'll be perfectly frank with everybody. I'll be blunt and to the point. Morale stinks right now in the district. Salaries stink in the district. Our teachers deserve to be paid more, as well as our custodians, our maintenance, our electricians, our clerical staff as well. Administrators, no, we'll talk, that's a different subject, okay? But bottom line, everybody needs to be paid more. We need to find the resources to do that. Increase in salaries, sure, that's going to help morale. But working together will also help morale. Give them a voice. They've had a voice in the past. The voice was not heard this year. It was difficult negotiations. We went through some times where we started down a path. The state says you're going to lose $3 to $4 million of income. So we had to shift our gears. We were told to stop negotiations with any bargaining units until we know exactly how much money we're going to lose or how much we're actually going to have. That hurts negotiations when you're in the middle of a process and doing that. So those things we need to take care of. We do need to build up our salaries. But as I said, we need to do it for every employee in, well, administration will talk again, but every employee within the district. We need to develop a plan. We need to come together as a community, as a board, as units within the district itself to develop a plan that will increase their salaries from the lowest that they are today up to the highest scales at the respective bargaining units over a period of 5 to 6 years. It can be done, but we need to come together and agree on how we can do this and working together to do that.